spend so much of our life at work, but it feels like quite a luxury that we might press the pause button and actually think about what we do, where we're headed, why we do it and how we do it. And in a way, what I want to do this evening is focus a bit more on the how, on how we work. I think the really interesting thing about thinking about fuel for our careers and business lives is if we are taking a journey and driving somewhere, we know, especially if we're taking a road trip somewhere, we know that we have to stop for fuel. We need to pay attention to the sustenance we need. And fuel matters because it informs all these different things. Fuel informs our creativity, kind of having ideas. It informs our productivity, kind of getting things done. It informs joy. There's no reason why we shouldn't bring joy into our work. Well-being, which is a big area of interest for me, and fortunately the world of work has changed. A lot of people are shining a light on mental health in the workplace, and a lot of employers are. So, well-being really matters. Our general energy levels and our passion. What gets us out of bed in the morning to do our job and to be fired up. I suppose I'm on a real mission to make the world of work more human. I don't know why we have to live our business lives and work lives in a certain way. Sometimes it feels like we have to leave our personality at the door in certain jobs and certain roles. And I think that's such a shame. Why would we do our best work sitting at a desk? And I know not everyone in this room, it's fortunate, not everyone in this room necessarily has to do their work at a desk. But it's just a reminder that we have this old model of work that's perhaps based on the earlier 20th century. And for some people, that's still very valid. I'm not discounting that. I share a train carriage up to London with a lot of people that work more in traditional sectors and industries where you are going to do your best work at the desk. But that doesn't mean that's where you're going to have your best ideas. Aaron Sorkin struggles from kind of writer's block, creative block, whatever you want to call it. And he finds that the best way of him getting unstuck creatively is to take a shower. But he's taken that one stage further. He's had a shower installed in his office, and he takes up to 8 showers a day just to keep energized. I can only hope it's not an open plan office. But forget the writing, just think how clean he is. Amazing. If we want to be creatively engaged and come up with creative ideas, we need to change our habits and surroundings. So if you're the kind of person that does the same thing every day in the same routine, it's unlikely you're going to have creative moments. But if you go somewhere else, you go on holiday to a different city, I know Mike's a great wanderer and explorer, so he'll probably go to places he's never been to before. That's when a lot of creative moments happen. Change your habits and surroundings. But as soon as we took off, that wonderful thing happened that if you've ever taken a flight, you'll know. You come out the clouds and all the grey's gone. And you have these lovely fluffy clouds and the sunshine. And suddenly I was filled with optimism. I was feeling really upbeat. I was sitting in the window and my paper and pen had a life of its own as all these ideas tumbled out of me. I wasn't going to the Caribbean or the Maldives. I was going to Edinburgh on a Monday morning. But there was something about that journey that really just reminded me about you only need an hour to really be productive. Maybe I did like 2 days work in an hour. It's crazy. Think about the places and spaces that kind of inspire you, that where you have your best ideas and what might work for you. What I've learned is that you can't just plonk a human being anywhere and expect them to do their best work. It really, really matters. And I don't think people have been paying attention to that for long enough. I think organizations are waking up to that now. We think that we need to plan a project or we need to come up with some ideas, so we'll automatically boot up the iPad, open up the laptop, get out the phone. Whereas in fact, might an analog tool be better? Walking is a really nice way of getting space to think and a really nice alternative to meetings, especially for something informally. I've been a big fan of walk and talks, walking meetings for a long time. This is me in Bristol last year with a contact of mine, Sonia, and rather than sit in a coffee shop and have a catch up, we've just kind of gone for a walk. And I do a coaching program in London, which I call Fuel Safari. And this is a recent route, just walking around Soho and Fitzrovia. And it's a lovely way of getting to know kind of someone new, a new business contact, just by walking around. And the reason it works is that fluid movement in the body triggers fluid movement in the brain. So, embrace your inner rebel. You know, maybe we think sometimes we've got this rebellious spirit inside us and we think, now we're kind of grown-ups, we shouldn't let the inner rebel out. We should we can't be rebellious anymore. We're meant to be grown-up and straight-laced. But no, why not? This man is called Ian Rogers, and he's Chief Digital Officer at Louis Vuitton, the fashion house in Paris. Before that, he was at Apple Computers in Cupertino, California. And if you look closely at his right hand, you'll see that he's got some tattoos on his fingers. And he had that tattoo done when he was in his early 20s. And what he said was, reflecting back on it now, he's a bit younger than me, probably late 40s, he said, I think my younger self wanted to protect me from my potential future self, because having these tattoos on his fingers is kind of a way of navigating his career to make sure that he would always work somewhere where they wouldn't care that he had tattoos on his fingers. This is a lovely poster by the graphic artist Anthony Burrell, if you don't know him. I kind of think in 2019 we should have an opportunity to rock up at work as the real us and to own who we really are and to own our real story. I think it's something really worth saying, which is every one of us is unique. And I'm not advocating for a moment that everyone needs to bring their inner rebel to work, that everyone needs to try walking meetings, or that everyone needs to jump on a train to get some of their ideas. It's up to you to design your own work life and to take whatever ingredients you think work for you. 5 years ago, I started this habit where I write a list. It's called Good Times. I start it on a Monday morning and I end it on a Sunday night. And I write a list of all the really good stuff that happened in my life, all the good moments, meeting a wonderful bunch of people at the old foundry, going for a cycle, going for a run, work and non-work stuff all knitted together. As you can see from this list, walking my son to school, coffee and 6 minutes with Zoe and Suki, she's the dog. And it's given me 5 years of data, has given me data about kind of what makes me tick and what fuels my best work. And also is like a really indicator of success. Here's an ever so simple Venn diagram for you. How to make decisions in your career. Play where you play best, the stuff you're good at, listen to your gut, follow you. That's the sweet spot. Yeah? Why would you go anywhere else?